Hi, welcome back to the Cincai.
Cincai Bros show.
I don't even know what's the name of our show anymore.
Okay,
I mean-
it's not that hard to remember, Kevin. Don't worry. Okay.
What? It's Cincai. I don't remember anything anymore.
Yeah.
Okay, wait.
Yeah, that's
Okay,
so true.
first things first. You're probably gonna notice the change of venue. Things happen. Things happen.
Yeah, like we don't have a big ass green screen anymore.
We have this. It's wonderful.
Yeah. Since we don't have any sponsors right now, so we might just want to keep it budget for a while, you know.
Yeah,
Right.
and we're not using the mics that we have. We have one lav mic.
It's right here.
Yeah, we're supposed to have two lav mics, but we ran into issues with one of the lav mics where they messed up with the audio. Yeah.
Yeah, but that's not what we're here to talk about, okay? Kevin, what do you want to talk about today? And
We are going to talk about script writing,
Mhm.
but before we go into that, let's talk about the movies that have been going on.
Yes.
Things that have been going in the movieverse.
Yeah, so ever since our last podcast, Endgame has came out.
Yep.
Endgame came out. Pikachu came out, and then now John Wick 3 is out.
You're watching it later.
Yeah, we're watching it later at around 4, and then we still have a lot of movie trailers that came out recently, and a lot of Game of Thrones news. But I probably won't talk about it here because I don't want to talk about it.
Strongly
And
opinionated.
but the most important one is that we want to talk about the It trailer. So which is Kevin's.
The It trailer. Oh boy, you know. Okay, the thing about the It trailer, it's okay. I've actually haven't seen the first movie, but I know how the story goes.
You basically just spoiled the whole movie for yourself.
Yeah, I know what the story is going to be about. I mean, it's so big. Like
Okay.
even the casting news was very big news for the adults in the It Chapter 2. Okay, what made me laugh in the It Chapter 2 trailer is when Pennywise that's playing the old lady, right? It's like
Yeah, I would kind of speculate to go into that.
Yeah,
some
so-
people presume it's Pennywise's grandma or mom, but those are all theories. But for now, from what we saw, for at least what I saw, I think it's Pennywise himself.
Oh, so it's
Yeah.
it's an old lady. It's an
Yeah.
old lady. We're probably gonna play it like right here, and and she just does really creepy dance. You know, it's like I was like laughing about it, but I find it really really funny. Just like the way how it moves, and it's like the old lady is butt naked and everything. But but last night when I was going to bed, when I switched off all the lights in the
Mhm.
house, and I just started thinking of it. It's like, oh, it's funny. It's like, oh wait, what if it appears right behind me right now?
Just goes like, oh, hi Kevin.
Yeah, then it's like okay, it's after like 2 weeks. It was is it 1 week? 1 week. It's been 1 week, and I've realized okay, that's actually pretty scary. It's not that funny anymore. Okay,
It's still funny though. Like ever since you showed me that gif of that old lady just passing the corridor. She's just like that, but
yeah, it's
naked.
moving.
Yeah, it's for a while it actually got funny, and then he over exaggerated his laugh sometimes. Like
I mean, it's a good laugh. I want to laugh at.
yeah.
Okay, maybe I did.
Okay.
Maybe I did over exaggerate.
Okay, right, moving on.
Okay. I mean, Endgame. Do we really have to talk about it? Nah. It's too long. It's too. We have a lot of things to say, and it's not.
Okay,
It won't be spoiler free.
Okay, right. I mean, at this point, it's already been almost 3 weeks since it's almost been like 3 to 2 weeks
Yeah.
since it's released, so it should be pretty okay for us to talk spoilers. Honestly, if you haven't watched Endgame, what are you doing? Honestly, it's yeah, exactly. So there's no. I mean, yeah, sure, you have to watch. Yeah, sure, it'll be more satisfying. More satisfying if you watch all 22 movies, but
Mhm.
it's. I mean, everyone would like to jump on the bandwagon of, oh my god, it's one of the biggest movies of all time. We should watch it the opening 2 weeks.
Yeah,
You know.
yeah.
So yeah, I mean, there's some people who are just like, you know what? Sometimes trendy stuff can be really irritating and quite awkward. You say if you go into it and not knowing anything about it, but you just go there just to be there with everyone else.
Mhm.
Yeah, but those I mean that is what the movie experience is all about. Going to the movie and just like cheering and just like everyone crying together. I mean, I cried together with probably 30% of the, okay, not 30%, but 70% of the theater
Yeah.
during
yeah.
Endgame. So, what do you think about Endgame?
Well, yeah, it's truly a once in a lifetime thing, like this movie.
Not if you rewatch it 4 times.
Yeah, true, true. But I think
Yeah.
maybe you won't see a movie like this in a while. I don't think Marvel, in any way, they can top it. I think no one can top it
Nope.
in quite a while. Until the next pop culture relevant movie that comes out. Like this is our Star Wars
Yeah.
of our time, of
That's
this
very true.
generation. Yeah.
Although it's not as original as Star Wars, but at the time when Star Wars was very very original, now but well it's like Marvel is adapted from comics, so that's why um, so that's why some people would say, oh, it's not original. So you say, but if you adapt it rightly to the screen, then the end product is there, right? The
Yeah,
satisfaction
yeah.
would be there if you adapt it rightly. So I don't read the comics, but I'm pretty much satisfied with what we have for comic
Mhm.
book movies,
Yeah.
even though it's a bit oversaturated at times, but um, the real big ones is what really hit the home run for me.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Okay, moving on, we can talk about Detective Pikachu. And I've come to understand that you didn't really like the movie.
I didn't really enjoy it as much as others, honestly. I found I had a lot of problems with it, even though I do really love a lot of stuff like the Pikachu itself, and some of the visuals look absolutely great. It's
Mhm.
very Blade Runner inspired. Yeah, it is very Blade Runner inspired because of the sort of like cyberpunky style, you know.
Like detective, we consider it like detective noir inspired, in some ways.
I can't.
Wait, not detective noir, like, is it the genre called neo noir?
Neo noir,
Yeah,
yeah.
neo noir.
Yeah, neo noir. That not really, not exactly. You would say. This one, while there are like neon lights or everything, but there's no exaggeration of shadows and lights.
Yeah,
They
yeah,
don't
yeah.
utilize that fully, but they do hint at like, oh, there's like an underground world of like Pokemon battles and all. So that aspect I really did enjoy, but it's just like the main protagonist, man. I mean, it's not even Pikachu himself, it's the main guy himself. I don't really blame the lead actor's name,
Justice
yeah,
Smith.
Justice Smith, but I don't know, all the human characters, they all just fall really flat for me. For all these movies that are about monsters or pocket monsters,
Pokemon.
which means Pokemon, if you didn't know. Even like I would compare it to Godzilla, where like everyone wants to see Godzilla, not really the human characters, you know. So we don't really care about the human characters. And just like Transformers, we want to see the Transformers, but they keep showing us the humans. And I know that it has a better emotional drive for Pikachu, but um, it's really bogged down by the terrible dialogue. It's really like even we as like beginning scriptwriters, we can even write that kind of dialogue because
Mm.
it tells a lot, and that's what I really don't like about it.
Oh yeah.
And oh, the f- I mean the final battle was just really disappointing for me. I was just like, this is where CGI is unfinished.
Oh,
And it looks
okay.
pretty bad. So yeah.
I think I've read somewhere on the internet, like, I think a number of people actually like the final battle because it's actually a reference to one of the old Super Smash Brothers video game. There's
Okay.
actually it's a video game, a fighting video game based on Nintendo characters. So this map is like, it's basically called Poke Floats. So it's like those floating Pokemons. There's a map that's kind of like how in Detective Pikachu. So yeah, I mean like Mewtwo is a character in the Smash Bros.
Yeah.
Games.
And honestly, Mewtwo is one of the most powerful characters,
Mm.
one of the most powerful Pokemons, and I was quite surprised that they didn't. Okay, 1 hour 45 minutes. What are you gonna do? And so yeah, I just felt like they didn't really utilize Mewtwo that well.
Mm.
I feel that's how I feel towards it.
In the Detective Pikachu game is they use Mewtwo too.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. That's true. But honestly, I just didn't like. Yeah, sure. Sure, you can make a reference to something, but make sure it's done right. I didn't think that they didn't utilize it well enough.
Yeah.
Okay.
Alright,
And we're gonna take a break.
We're gonna take a break,
Mm-hmm.
and now we're gonna move on into script writing.
Yes. Okay.
Mm.
All right. So, welcome back
Welcome
to the
back.
Cincai Bros show, and now, so just now we were just talking about Detective Pikachu, and how and how much I didn't really enjoy it as much as others, but I just thought it was okay.
Mm-hmm.
And have you watched it? Actually, I wanted to ask, have you watched it, Kevin?
Yeah, I watched it.
What do you think about it?
I don't know. Maybe that day I was feeling really tired. You know,
Okay.
but I watched it. It felt pretty kind of mediocre in a way.
Mhm.
I mean, there's some
Yeah.
moments where just like, oh, it's like, oh, that's pretty cute. It's like the way how they did it.
Mm-hmm.
But
Alright.
maybe it's a bit off-putting also seeing Ryan Reynolds in the Pikachu voice, but it's kind of explained well with the plot twist. Let's not address
Mhm.
that. Let's not address
Yes,
that.
okay.
But I think it's pretty fun. If you like Pokemon, that's the movie that you
Mhm.
should watch. But one thing that I do want to talk about Detective Pikachu is the apparent leak video.
Yes.
Leak the full movie that was leaked online by Ryan Reynolds himself. And
on
it's
Twitter.
on
And
Twitter.
I was there live on Twitter. I was scrolling through. Then he literally commented. He literally tagged Warner Brothers and said he just captioned it with like I guess going to do something about this.
Mhm.
Then when everyone clicked the link, the biggest surprise happened. It was really the cutest surprise that could ever happen. So yeah.
Oh, it's Detective Pikachu, dancing to the aerobics championship music. It's a really popular
Mhm.
video.
Yeah.
There's even a Key and Peele sketch. They
Yeah.
called Aerobics Meltdown that I watched it like this week. That's a good video, but the Detective Pikachu that video of him dancing, it's so cute. It's like
Yeah, I really cannot. It's so heartwarming, you know. I just feel so satisfied when I just really feel so satisfied when I watch it. I'm just like, I want to pet you, man.
Yeah.
Honestly.
you know
Yeah.
how do you feel when they first released like the realistic Pokemon designs?
Honestly, I was quite off put. Like
Yeah.
everyone was like, "Oh wait, this is something different." But I got used to it. I kind of liked it, honestly.
Yeah.
Um,
It makes
yeah.
sense. It makes sense
it
how
does
they
make
look.
sense, yeah. The animated, yeah. Some people might be annoyed at animated fur because in every animation movie or they will always like make it like photorealistic fur on animals or
Mhm.
whatever. But I really think that it is very it's very unique, you know. And these are the Pokemon. The Pokemons are animal. They're all you don't expect them to be like hairless, you know. It's not their skin, it's their fur.
Yeah,
and
how it looks
yeah.
in the anime is just
Yeah.
like it's kind of plain. They don't have
Mhm.
like
Yeah.
fur or anything. I mean, they've tried like I think they've tried to do like 3D renditions of
Mm-hmm.
how like Pokemon look like the non realistic ones. It's like they just like basically they make a 3D version of how it looks in the anime, for example, and it looks it looks good, but it doesn't look real. You know, I think that's why they
That doesn't look real.
yeah
Okay,
that's
alright.
what they're trying to achieve. So it kind of blends in
Yeah.
into
Mhm.
the real world.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, speaking of realistic stuff, I actually really bought Ryan Reynolds as Pikachu. I actually thought not only did he elevate the comedy, but
Okay, the comedic
yeah,
timing is
yeah,
pretty good.
Ryan Reynolds with comedic timing, he's just insane. It's just PG-13 Deadpool in a Pikachu,
Mhm.
and it's okay. I really don't like comparing Pikachu to Deadpool, but that is exactly what Detective Pikachu is. It's basically Deadpool in a PG-13 movie if you couldn't curse and all, and it's not the same quirky, snappy attitude.
Yeah.
And I really enjoyed that part of it. That's why I didn't think it was as bad as I thought it was going to be if it
Mhm.
wasn't for the plot. So yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I do like Pikachu running around and say, "Oh, I want coffee." It's like he's a coffee addict, you know. I think that was pretty funny.
Mm-hmm.
I think there was one time where the protagonist was talking to the potential love interest, and he was just like sipping like hot coffee. It's like oops, I'm
Oops.
sorry, it's piping hot. That was pretty funny. Yeah.
Yeah. Again, love interest. Do we really need it? I don't even think it's a love interest. I think it's just someone he just finds attractive, and then
Oh, they didn't even really.
yeah, they didn't. Yeah, they set up a lot of stuff,
Mm.
and then it didn't really pay off for me.
Mhm.
But that's just how I feel about it. It's probably not my type of movie. Even like this year, I know that you enjoyed this year's Alita, like Japanese adaptations of movies. I didn't really like it. Like Alita, I thought was fairly mediocre. Even though the action was great, but the plot and story, I just got pretty bored with it, honestly. Even though I do like the protagonist Alita, but what she had to go through with, and what you mentioned to me about putting
four volumes.
yeah, 4 volumes in one movie, that didn't really work for me. And then the setting up for another movie, which I don't even know whether I want to watch.
Mm.
Even for Pikachu, I'm not even sure whether I want to watch another Pikachu movie. But I probably will, as I have always watched sequels to movies that I didn't like. So yeah.
I want to talk something a little bit about Alita. The Japanese writers,
Mm.
they actually don't really follow the way how they create stories.
Mm-hmm.
They don't follow the 3 act structure.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I think it's called the 4 act. It's a 4 act structure. It's it's still a little bit with like the 3 act structure, but they add a whole new section called establishing.
Oh, isn't that the same thing as isn't that like the same kind of act as like the 3 act structure's first act? Like that's how you exposition. Like, isn't it the same as exposition?
But
a
the way
bit?
how they establish is like they establish the world. Like if you notice, let's say Alita Battle
Mhm.
Angel, for example, like the first act, you notice it's not it doesn't really move the story forward. It's for you to understand the
The world.
protagonist
Mhm.
and the world. Then it's like the only like probably at 30 40 minutes in, it's like I think there wasn't even an inciting incident in the 10 minutes, if you notice.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
That's really true. Yeah, I mean, I do really like the slow burn for Alita, honestly. It really works well for her character. Um, it's just after like after the midpoint when it just started like a lot of action heavy stuff and then the unnecessary romance. That yeah, again, romance in movies, do it right, guys. Come on.
Okay, wait. I'll
Really
interject
can-
this. This is because this is Alita's first love.
Yeah. That's
So
true.
she's blindly in love with
Yeah, that's
Hugo, right? Hugo.
Is his name Hugo? I don't remember.
It was I don't know. Like he was so forgettable, to be honest. It's like, I think that's a lot of people were saying that's the point. Like that's how where the people. There's this one scene where people say it's very cringy, where she said, "Oh, I will give you your heart," like literally. That's like
Yeah, that's true.
it's showing that how naive she
Mhm.
is.
Yeah.
Yeah, like Hugo actually doesn't really. I think it's Hugo. Okay, I don't know. Hugo thinks it's wrong. I mean, like Hugo doesn't really like her, you know.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would say, yeah, sure, her first love. But in the trailer, when I first saw that scene, I was puking on the floor. I was like, this is pretty damn terrible. I don't even know whether I want to watch this. Then I heard the reviews. They said, oh, it's fairly good. You know, you
Yeah.
should watch it. And it's probably one of the few movies you should watch this year. Then I did watch it, and that scene didn't really stand out as like a really terrible
Yeah,
scene.
yeah.
But there were other scenes that were more terrible than that, to me.
Mm.
So yeah.
But the motorball scene, though.
Oh,
That one's
yeah,
awesome.
Yeah, that one's pretty great.
Oh,
as
you know,
well.
you know who the soundtrack, Junkie XL. He did it
Yeah.
again. He did it again. I'm so
Yep.
proud of him.
Yes, he did. Yes, he did do it again.
Oh.
Okay. Anything else you want to talk about? Talk about script writing and like you were mentioning like the 3 act structure
Yeah.
and the 4 act structure, right? So what we are learning now is that we will talk about this later. The 3 act structure and how we like implement our. It's like how we criticize movies now is so much different because of script writing, and
Yeah.
we will talk about that right after this very short break. Okay.
Yep.
All right. So
We'll be gone. Still Wednesday. That's what, yeah, moving on.
okay, moving on. We're not bringing that up ever again, but just so you know. Okay, all right. So just now we're talking about script writing and how our knowledge of learning through this process of script writing really elevates our critique level of film in
Movies.
general and or any form of media in general. So Kevin, what do you have to say about that?
Yeah, it's like right now we are doing an assignment where we have to write a script. We're not even started on the script yet. It's like
Yeah.
we're starting on like building the characters, the world, the
Mhm.
synopsis, inciting incidents.
Yeah.
Yeah, we actually like 3 out of 4 of our group is in this room right now. Like one of them's behind the camera right now.
Hi, Cal.
And
And hi, Jasmine from Sabah.
yeah,
Right. I think she's in Sabah.
she's probably
right?
she probably will watch it. Maybe she won't. Yeah, but script writing is. I felt that I look deeper into how they write the movies, and I think it's a really fascinating experience right now. When I watch a movie, it's like, oh, this is how they write it. This is how they reveal certain plot elements, like how the characters work, and sometimes I feel like I notice when characters they kind of say like dialogue that doesn't make sense, or like, and we mentioned just now Detective Pikachu, that they do a lot of telling, not showing. They like to like. There's a lot of exposition in Detective Pikachu.
Yeah. Whereas like to me, I feel like these kind of movies, like studio movies, they do tend to tell a lot. One other movie which I can bring up recently that really told a lot is Wreck-It Ralph 2. Wreck-It Ralph 2, like this is literally one line from, okay, it's not the exact quote, but he said something like this. He at the end he said, "Oh, your insecurities are gone," and it's not, and it's, yeah, and it's supposed to, and I really did get it, if they didn't mention it, like through that whole final act, if he didn't mention, "Oh, your insecurities are gone," and there was just a scene of the insecurities just wiping away.
Wow.
That would have been fine. I would have totally got it if he didn't mention, "Oh, your insecurities are gone." But again, it's like people will label it as a children's movie. I wouldn't label it. I'll label it a family movie. But there's still no point of mentioning, like there's still no point of like telling what's on screen. What you already know is on screen.
Yeah.
So I mean, it's a 3-act. Like Hollywood always follows this 3-act structure
Yeah,
of, they like to tell a lot, and that's not really good. The best movies are the ones that show a lot and don't tell. Yeah.
Like insecurities wiping away. Like, wow! Don't we wish we can do all of us do that. That's Wreck-It Ralph in a 3-act structure. Like, oh yeah, we're talking about Alita in a 4-act structure. Do you think like it's related how they have, like they adapted the 4 volumes of Alita? Like they adapted 4 volumes and they used the 4-act structure. Nah, it's probably not.
I can't say because I haven't read the manga.
Yeah, same.
I really haven't read the manga, so I can't really say for sure. But when you mentioned about establishing an exposition, I think that was the part that I really enjoyed about Alita. Yeah, a bit of the confrontation, I thought it was very rushed. I thought it was rushed for me. But then again, it's my opinion. Everyone's entitled to their own opinion, guys. So yeah, just don't listen to me for what I say half the time. Go see it for yourself. That's the best way. That's the best way you can go about it. So yeah. Anything else you want to talk about script writing in general? So how does that elevate your level of critique?
How about let's talk about the best like script writing you've experienced in a movie, like any movie that comes in mind.
That's the best script?
Yeah, that you feel that one, maybe not the best, or like something, the script that you feel like you really enjoy.
Okay. Not one of the best of all time I've seen, but recently I've seen The Usual Suspects, which is written by the Mission Impossible director Christopher McQuarrie, and man, he knows how to write dialogue, and it really shows. And I was quite surprised. Like after I read The Usual Suspects, it says that The Usual Suspects has one of the best screenplays of all time. It's actually considered one of the best screenplays of all time, and it did win Best Writing at the Oscars. But I did feel like some of the execution was a bit off, but the script is amazing. There's a lot of quotes, but where I've heard now, that's still relevant today. And mostly Kevin Spacey delivers those iconic lines. And yeah, sorry to mention, I don't really support Kevin Spacey, but he really is a really damn good actor. You really can't blame him for being a bad actor because of what he did. But he genuinely is a very damn good actor. Even though besides what he did, I'm not supporting him in what he does off screen. But on screen, he's just a really damn good actor. I just can't help but say that, And what the usual suspects does is that it's fragmented narrative, so it goes back and forth from the past to the present a lot, and I think it's one of the few movies that utilize that narrative structure very well. That non-linear structure, thought it handled it very well,
Yeah.
honestly. So what about you? What about like script structures that you like in film?
Since I've like recently watched Glorious Bastards,
Mhm.
recently, Bastards with E.
Yeah, that's been E.
Uh,
Mhm.
it's fresh out of my mind, so it's like, I really like how he handled like these different character arcs in the story,
Mhm.
and it's kind of like Tarantino style is like kind of non-linear storytelling, and it works. It just works. Like sometimes when you feel like you put like different character arcs in one movie, and just feel like, what the hell's going on sometimes, but in Inglourious Bastards, it's like it's really really good the way how it's done. You
Mhm.
understand what's going on. There's a flow that works, and then at the towards the third act, like all the storylines converge into one.
Not
I think-
not at the same time, but they're in the same place and the same
Yeah,
time,
they
and you
just-
see all of it in one shot,
Yeah.
and that's insane. Yeah, Inglourious Basterds is one of the better movies to use non-linear structure, and Tarantino is known, like you said, for non-linear structure.
That
So, yeah.
he worked on the script since 1998. The movie.
I did not know that.
Yeah, the movie came out in 2007.
2009.
2009, yeah. 1 year
2009.
after
But still,
2008, yeah.
yeah, 10 years. Yeah, so imagine for people out there. I know a few scripts that have been like, I know like a few scripts that have been, they like writers have been writing it for a while, then they stop writing it, and then they rewrite it again, and they
Mhm.
stop again. There's this one movie, this writer halt this script 15 times because he wasn't sure that it wasn't going to work, and that's Get Out. By Jordan
Peele.
Yeah, so Jordan Peele really had a rough time of like, oh, what if I don't pull this off? What if it doesn't go well enough, you know? And I think he really did it well. Like all these scripts, 3-act structures. It's a really Hollywood narrative, as what Asmil said. I haven't like dived into those narrative structures where they don't use the 3-act structure. But I can't really say because I can't think of a movie that doesn't use 3-act structure that much.
It's because like both of us probably, we really into Western movies.
Yeah.
I think it's if you pull yourself out from the Western hemisphere, from in the movies, and I think you can notice a lot of different story structures. That's why I think like a lot of people, they kind of panned Alita, because it's like, this is not a 3-act structure. I'm not used to this. I mean, like, to the normal layman, they probably don't notice this about the 3-act structure, because it is a 4-act structure in Alita. So it's like it kind of puts you out if you don't know about it.
Yeah.
But even if you know about it, okay, maybe this story structure is not my thing. I personally like the 3-act structure, for example. So yeah.
Okay. Yeah. That's pretty much his thoughts. That's pretty much it for the podcast today, guys. And thank you again.
Yeah.
Don't forget to like and subscribe.
Yeah. Sorry, this is like so makeshift.
Yeah, this is really makeshift, especially this screen right here. Oh, you see, look at that.
Oh no. Oh no.
Yeah. But in that we covered our thoughts on Endgame. We covered on Detective Pikachu, and we talked about Alita quite a lot, which I'm quite surprised. And we covered a lot on narrative, on script writing and how we like it. So yeah, okay.
Yep.
So that's it.
This is the first episode, and we truly embrace our Cincai nature. Rise to Wednesday.